Hey, everybody, it is Wayne with Ugly Mug Marketing. I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Today, we've got a special guest with us, and we want to talk about some of the changes, some of the things that they are implementing in their organization as a result of COVID-19 and the impact that that has had on their organization. So today, we've got James White. He is the lead pastor at Crossroads New Life Tabernacle out in DeVille. I've known James for probably 9 years or so. And just recently, our team at Ugly Mug Marketing was reading a book called Know What You're For. And I happened to see James post some things on their social media or his social media. And I noticed that he was using a hashtag that looked very familiar to what was talked about in this book that we were reading. So maybe about a month or so ago, I reached out to him and asked, and we had a great conversation. And indeed, he had read the book and he had actually already started implementing that with his team, his leadership team at his church, and actually implementing some of what that book is about in their church and in their community. And they were doing such a phenomenal job of being for their community that we actually reached out and had him come in and kind of share with our team what they were doing, the impact that it had, not only in their organization, their church, but also within the community. And so I wanted him to come on today and just kind of share how the current situation has changed what they're doing, how it has, the book, Know What You're For, has kind of led them in this direction and the things that they're doing during this crisis. So James, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to be with us.
Hey, Wayne, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. I'm excited.
Well, thank you. So let's just, for those watching us right now on Facebook who may not be familiar with the book, could you give us maybe just like a 30,000 foot view of what the book is about and kind of specifically what it meant for you, your staff, and your church?
So I came across this book. I have to tell you why I came across the book. The book came to me at a time where I was experiencing some burnout in 2019. And so I started praying and asking God to help me, give me some direction. I took a month off in November, as I told you. And I had purchased this book. I have it right here. I purchased this book and read it in November, started reading this, and it was just incredible. And it changed the way, it didn't change anything. It really just brought me back to what I was supposed to be for. And so that's really, that's how the book came into my hand. So read the book. And then in January, we did a vision cast. I do an annual vision cast. I shared this with our church and told them this 3-letter word, FOR, is going to be seen in our church. It's going to be part of our culture. And this 3-letter word has really helped us stay on track with being known for our community, being known for others, being known for you. That's kind of that's kind of where this book brought me and our church. And so what we've done is we've intentionally started creating things that we can do to be known for others. And I don't know if you want me to talk about some of those right now, but I can.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Talk about some of the things that you were doing pre-COVID-19.
Yeah. Okay. So pre-COVID. So what we were doing, we use our social platform to help with this. So what we would do is we'd find businesses in the community. Some of them were members of our church. Some of them were not members of our church. And so what we want our community to know that we are for everyone, not just the people that attend our church. And so we started highlighting these businesses in the community. And so we did that through our social platforms. We would intentionally create ministry opportunities. And from January until now, we have created ministry opportunities to let our community know that we are for them and let others know that we are for them. We have linked up with, our schools. We've linked up with community leaders and just made ourselves available to do really the work that the church has been designed to do. And that is to help people, support people, to love people, even whenever we don't have a crisis. And so
let me just jump in real quick and ask you. So when you began rolling that out, one, I guess, what was the response of, your team, your staff, your congregation? And then what was the response in the community as well? What type of feedback, what type of, comments did y'all hear? Did y'all find as a result of starting this?
Yeah. Church has received it. They have that. In fact, it's really what the church is designed to do anyway, is to be for others. We're just making sure that we're intentional about it. So they've received this. Our team, our ministry team has really just surrounded this. And I can tell you, we could not be as successful as we are in this community and in this church without the team that I have. I have an incredible team, my pastoral staff, my leadership team, and just everyone at our church has supported this. And, and I've always been a pastor that wants to be community minded, for the community, for others. And so they've embraced it. Now the community, we've heard a lot of good feedback, especially from those that, I say especially from those, but we have connected with some businesses in this area who have really just thought this was a big help to us. Thank you so much for this. And so that's kind of the feedback we're receiving from this.
No, that's awesome. And it's actually as a result of some of those posts that I saw you sharing and through your church page sharing that that I reached out and reconnected, and we started talking about this book. And, as timing would have it, that all took place literally just a couple of weeks before COVID-19 and kind of the, stay at home mandates that have been issued, which obviously very directly affect what you do in terms of traditional church. So if you were to overlay kind of what you were doing previously with the book, Know What You're For, and being for your community, for your congregation, and for each individual, and then you were to overlay that with what has taken place over the last few weeks, how have those two things overlaid with each other? Has it been easy? Has it been a natural transition from what you were previously doing? What does that look like for y'all?
Oh, wow. So I saw someone was working on a graphic. I'm part of a group page, and they said, "This is the worst Easter ever." And that was their graphic. I thought that was cool. And whenever COVID-19 came along, we thought we were going to be able to just kind of just breeze through this. It was going to be over in no time. We were going to church was not even going to be affected. But on Thursday, there was a Thursday. We had intention to have church on Sunday. And there was a Thursday where we finally made the decision. We've got to stop. We have to stop doing things like we have normally done. And so we changed. We had to make some major changes. Online church. We went that Sunday. We went to online only, and then as far as ministry, we started having to reevaluate what we were doing as a community or in our community, and so there was a lot of changes that started taking place. But then through prayer and just through just realizing that we are the church, we don't stop for a crisis. In fact, we move forward in crisis. And so that's what we did as a church. We decided, hey, we have to be for others. We have to be for you, and we have to be for DeVille, for Simla. We have to be for them. And so what better time than to show them that we're for them than now? And so what we did is we had conversations. We discussed it as a pastoral staff and as a board, church board. And then we implemented it out to our church. And so what it looks like now is it's very different, very different. Our people miss each other, and It's a lot of moving components. I think every week there's changes that come, and we're trying to implement new stuff. But one of the major things that I believe that has really kept me focused on being for our community is the thought of Jesus. If he were here today, I think he would say, "Hey, we've got to move forward, maybe differently, but we've got to move forward, and we've got to continue to be about our Father's business." And so it does look different, but we're going to continue to be for others.
Yeah, no, that's great. One of the things I know specifically in terms of being for your community that y'all very, very quickly began implementing was this program where you're actually going to pick up meals at the schools and deliver those meals to kids who may not otherwise be able to get to the schools to get those meals. Can you briefly just share, how y'all implemented that and kind of what that is?
Yeah. So I'm a hospice chaplain for Christus Hospice. And we were sitting at the table when we received the news that the schools would now be closed. And I remember saying to our team, guys, this is going to impact so many children who cannot go get that depend on school lunches. And I remember saying that, and it really, it affected me. I felt grieved. I just felt a heavy burden, and for days. And then the school announced, Rapides Parish School Board announced that they were going to continue to offer meals to the children. And so immediately I thought, what can we do? There are children that can't come get their meals. There are parents that are either working, they're still working, and they can't bring their children to get their meals. There's children that are at home with their parents that don't have transportation. So we thought, what can we do? And so we contacted Rapides Parish School Board, and we teamed up with them and said, we want to offer meals to the 71328 area code. We want to deliver them. And they gave us the green light on that. And so what we started doing is going to the school. We started with about 23, and we last Friday we delivered 60 to 65 to our community. And the awesome thing about this is that it wasn't just Crossroads New Life. It wasn't just our church. It was people in our community that said, "Hey, can we get involved in this?" And I just want to say thank you to the community for being for others. I really appreciate those that stepped up to help us with delivering meals. But we did that in so that we could help those that were in need. So that's kind of what, and it was great. Wayne, I have to say, whenever you drive up with a lunch, and these lunches, I mean, they're bags, and it's school lunches that we drive up with. And when you drive up and you see these children, some of them run out with huge smiles on their face, and we can't touch them. My wife is a hugger. She loves to hug. And man, she wants to grab those children. She just wants to hug on them. But we're trying to do our very best in social distancing. But when you see the smiles on their faces, it's incredible. So we feel like we are really being for others, but we feel like we're doing what Jesus really would want us to do in this time.
No, that's awesome. That's putting the hands and feet to what you normally say that you believe is, the quote unquote practicing what you preach. So you are to be commended for that. And, thank you so much from all of us for what you are doing for your community. Before we wrap up here, I know, kind of before we went live here on Facebook, you were sharing with me that you have like a group of pastors that you get together with now digitally via Zoom, I think you said, once a week. So what has that meant to you? Kind of what's the outflow of that? And I guess what would be your encouragement for other entrepreneurs, maybe business owners, in terms of connecting with others during this time?
Oh man, this meeting, I'll give a shout out to Nathan Martin. Nathan Martin, he great leader in our community, and number of pastors that are on there. But Nathan heads that up, And it's on Wednesdays, we get together, and we normally would get together, have coffee and donuts, but we've been doing it by Zoom to keep us from getting together and practicing safe social distancing. But just today, in fact, today I was on that call, on the Zoom call, and just today we had a time of fellowship, but also a lot of fun. We were able to joke and cut up and really make. We kind of gave our friend Tim Hissall a hard time, and just really had a lot of fun with him. But it was just a great time of camaraderie. We talk about the current issues. We talk about the things that are happening in our churches. We talk about the needs that are in our community, and there's a number of things that we discuss that are very beneficial. What I would say to everyone that may not be pastors, but maybe you're business owners, or maybe you're not a business owner and you're just looking for some kind of fellowship or camaraderie. These Zoom calls are incredible because you can see the faces of the people that are on that computer. And I can tell you, whenever I see your face, in fact, jumping on this call with you, Wayne, it's very different than if I was just on a phone call with you. I can see you and see your facial expressions, and that kind of helps motivate me a little bit. And so that's what these calls have done for me. These calls have really motivated me and helped me stay positive, really. And the guys that I'm on the call with every Wednesday, and then even throughout the week, they are very positive, uplifting. Again, we cut up and have a good time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, James, thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. And, thank you so much for what you are doing for your community, not just out in DeVille, but for all of Central Louisiana. We greatly appreciate that. And for those not familiar with the book, I know that we recommend the book, Know What You're For by Jeff Henderson. You can probably pick it up on Amazon. It may be delayed due to the shipping delays right now, but highly recommend the book. So thanks again, James, for taking time.
Hey, thank you, Wayne. Hey, and just real quick, I know I'm on your call, but we have a call at 12. It's a Zoom call, and it's pastors actually talking about moving through this pandemic and navigating through this. And so at 12, we'll be live too. And so just wanted to kind of give a shout out on that. Nathan Martin, again, is heading that up.
No, that's great. Thanks so much for letting us know about that. And we'll talk to you soon.